A listomania. Think less but see it grow.
Hello everybody, it is the Gnome and welcome to your July 2018 episode of 10 for 12. Just in case you're new to my channel, welcome, it is a pleasure to have you. 10 for 12 is a monthly video that I make in which I talk about a top 10 topic of my choosing, and the best part about it is a collaborative effort. And today I've got an awesome person working with me. It's my friend Caleb over at Caleb Says Stuff. I don't know about you guys, but that is one of the coolest names for a YouTube channel, and I'm still surprised that he has just a little over 300 subscribers. He is a fellow movie critic just like myself here in the community. I love what he has to say because he is not afraid to talk about what is important to him and his varying opinions. Everybody should be checking out his channel, and I'm really glad that today he is going to be joining me to talk about our 10 favorite underrated or underappreciated directors. What exactly does that mean? Well, in my opinion, it's a director that you may know or you may not know, but you don't know exactly how great these people are. They've done amazing things in terms of directing, and they have given us some of the most well-known and most popular, and maybe even cult classics in film history. So I've got my 10. I don't know what Caleb's 10 are, but of course it's a blind box, so I'm really excited to hear about who his 10 favorite underrated or underappreciated directors are, and here are mine. Number 10, unless you are a DC Animated Universe fan, you do not know who Lauren Montgomery is. She is Patty Jenkins before Patty Jenkins. A brilliant director, someone who has given me some of my favorite DC direct-to-DVD animated films. Unfortunately, she does not work with DC anymore, but it wasn't before she left that she gave us one of the best Green Lantern films in Green Lantern's First Flight, and an animated Wonder Woman movie starring the voices of Kerry Russell, Alfred Molina, and Rosario Dawson, and Nathan Fillion that could give Patty Jenkins' live-action Wonder Woman a true run for its money. Check out some of her work. Check her out on IMDb because she has done so many amazing things, and she's definitely worthy of being known as one of the most underappreciated directors today. Number 9 is the French director Luc Besson. Now, you may not recognize the name, but I'm sure that you know Leon the Professional. I'm sure that you are a huge fan of The Fifth Element if you've seen it, and that's why I appreciate this guy so much. He is one of the most creative, character-rich, developing, and charismatic directors. He gives us these worlds that we could only imagine, and his recent film, Valerian City of a Thousand Planets, is definitely an underappreciated science fiction film. I absolutely love it. It is so much fun, and it is amazing to see all the creativity that just flows through his mind when he puts all of this stuff onto the big screen for us. They are visual spectacles. Of course, he's the one who only directs. He doesn't do the CGI or anything like that, but these movies turn out to be some of the most entertaining roller coaster rides in cinema. Number 8 is Ryan Coogler. Now, true film appreciators, we know who Ryan Coogler is. I mean, if you've seen Creed, you love him. But the entire world has seen Black Panther, and thanks to Marvel and Black Panther, people now know who Ryan Coogler is. He doesn't have that many films to his name. He is the guy who pretty much gave us the great acting talents of Michael B. Jordan, and thanks to the amazing results of Black Panther in terms of box office and audience appeal, he is now a household name. Why he is not directing Creed 2, I do not understand why, but what I am hoping for is thanks to these great films that we will see more Ryan Coogler-directed films. Number 7 is the Wachowskis. You definitely have heard of them, because if you are a fan of The Matrix, you definitely know who they are. But not that many people have such great things to say about the Wachowskis. I mean, they produced V for Vendetta, they directed Speed Racer, they also did one of the most unbelievable feats, even though it wasn't the most praised of films. The fact that they even got an opportunity to bring Cloud Atlas to the big screen is admirable. But what I appreciate about the Wachowskis is how they always manage to think outside the box. Stories that have a lot of anime influence, which is very cool as far as I am concerned, because I feel that anime storytelling is so interesting in terms of characters and plot points, and the Wachowskis always manage to hit a home run with me outside of Cloud Atlas. I will always say that I love all 3 Matrix movies, and I feel that the reason why those last 2 ones do not get that much praise is because people just don't understand them. And that's why I feel they've sort of filtered out. We really don't see that many movies directed by them because of all the box office flops that they've had. And that's a darn shame, because their movies are not bad at all. Number 6 is Brad Bird. Now, Brad Bird is successful, but not that many people talk about him in terms of the films that he has made, like The Incredibles, Incredibles 2, Ratatouille, which gets better with every watch. I'm even a fan of Tomorrowland, and of course we've got The Iron Giant. But Brad Bird has done so much in terms of bringing great family entertainment and excitement to the big screen. Believe it or not, he's also an executive producer of The Simpsons. So while he's got a great resume, he's not really spoken about much, and that's a pretty darn shame, because he really is one of the better directors out there. The fact that he made a movie like The Iron Giant, which people will call better than some of the Disney canon classics, is quite spectacular. Number 5 is Kenneth Branagh. I know a lot of people don't really care much about the person, but when you take a look at some of the movies that Kenneth Branagh has directed, it's quite impressive. The fact that he gave us the live-action Cinderella, and he even directed the first Thor film in the MCU, is quite incredible. I don't know what it is about him, but every single time I hear that he is directing a film, I am someone that will be front row center, because I just know that I am going to get something awesome and special. And every single time I go, I'm always right, and I always get myself a great film. Number 4 is Damien Chazelle. Well, the film appreciators know him by name. You know his films, and those of course are Whiplash and La La Land. But why is he underrated and underappreciated? Well, that's because of the fact that he only has 2 movies to his name, and he's still so young. And the fact that he's got a biopic of Neil Armstrong coming this year in First Man, if that movie ends up being nominated for Best Picture, that will be his 3rd directed film, and all 3 of his films will have been up for Best Picture. And at such a young age, to actually have those kinds of accolades is quite impressive. But the fact that his name doesn't even come up in conversation is quite shameful. So, Damien Chazelle, guys, if you're a Whiplash fan, if you are a La La Land fan, always remember that name, because that's the most important name based around those 2 specific films, and soon to be 3. I'm looking forward to many more from him in the future. Number 3 is someone who has been around for many years, but he's someone that not many people talk about, and that is Robert Zemeckis. He really hasn't given us a film that has wowed us in recent years, but he has given us so many films that broke ground and gave us movies that we've never seen before. My favorite film of all time, Back to the Future, Who Framed Roger Rabbit, the Academy Award-winning Forrest Gump, one of his more recent works, The Walk, a fantastic film with Joseph Gordon-Levitt about a piece of history that some of us don't even know even happened. And he just brings great characters and a great story, and almost all the time a fantastic score by Alan Silvestri. Follow that name and check out some of these movies if you haven't, because I'm sure that there are some of you out there that have not seen Back to the Future and Who Framed Roger Rabbit, and shame on you if you are one of those people, but you'll understand when you see them. Number 2, now here's a controversial one in my world. I know a lot of people are going to give me shit for it. Zack Snyder. In Snyder I trust, a true comic book fan that has given me some of the greatest comic book movies of all time. I love 300. I think that Watchmen is the greatest adapted comic book film in history. Batman v Superman, Man of Steel, say what you will, I will defend those movies till the very end. The fact that he never got the opportunity to finish Justice League is a darn shame, because I feel that it could have been so much better when it was not under the care of Joss Whedon. But wow, he is a true fan who gives me those comic book films that I want. And the fact that he has basically been shunned from Hollywood now, even though there were a couple of family things that happened, it's still a shame that he is looked upon as a bad director, because as far as I'm concerned, he's a fan, and it's the fans that always give me the best adapted films based around those fandoms. And my number 1 is Edgar Wright. You probably know him if you're a film appreciator, but if you've seen Shaun of the Dead, Baby Driver, Scott Pilgrim vs. the World, that is Edgar Wright. He's also a brilliant writer. He wrote the Steven Spielberg-directed film The Adventures of Tintin, which is one of Steven Spielberg's most underappreciated films. His work in movies is unreal. The directing style, the dialogue that could put Aaron Sorkin to shame, the characters that he creates, so simple yet so complex that you can't do anything but adore them, as well as picking perfect soundtracks for each and every one of his films. He's the reason why we have Simon Pegg and Nick Frost. Baby Driver was his most recent work, and one of my all-time favorite films. My favorite film of 2017 as far as I'm concerned. And I wish that he could have been there to finish Ant-Man, because I just recently watched Ant-Man again. Even though Peyton Reed did a very good job directing that film, you see so much of Edgar Wright scattered throughout that film. And as far as I'm concerned, he's the best director in Hollywood today. So thank you very much for watching, everybody. Those are my 10 favorite underrated or underappreciated directors. I want to thank Caleb for participating, and I'm really looking forward to seeing his top 10. Put your comments in the box below. Let me know if I missed anybody, and I will see you in the next one. Hey, thank you so much for stopping by my channel today. If you're new here and want to see more of what my channel has to offer, please click on the link to my last video, or hit that subscribe button to be kept up to date with all of my uploads. Content of all sorts is posted here quite often, so trust me, you do not want to fall behind. I will see you in the comments, and actions speak louder than words.